Hello, welcome back to the Murphy Family Kitchen. I'm Jim Murphy, and today I've got something that's very exciting. My wife and I were at Costco the other night, and we found these lobster tails, a package of 6 for $45. So that's just under $8 a piece, which is a pretty good price for these. And so I got some so that we could smoke them and see how it comes out. So I've done that. This is what we have. It looks fantastic. But before we dig into this, I want to show you all how to go about doing this. It's very fast and very easy, and I think you'll find it very enjoyable. So the first thing that I want to do is make this butter mixture that we're going to use for, really it serves two purposes. We're going to baste the tails with the butter before we put them out on the smoker, and then we're going to have what's left for dipping while we eat it. So I just melted a stick of butter. It's probably more than I need, but it's hard to get the spices just right if you use any less than that. It doesn't take a lot. I've got a 1/4 teaspoon each of salt, pepper, garlic powder, and this, I'm gonna say it wrong, I think, Tony Chachere's Creole Seasoning. You've probably seen that around before. It's one of my favorite things to use, and so especially with seafood. So we're going to put that in here, and then we're just going to whisk it together. I had just enough heat on this that the butter would melt, and then I turn the heat off. I don't want the butter to burn, and we're just going to whisk that in. It'll settle out a couple of times. We'll have to remix it before we use it, but it'll be delicious nonetheless. So we're going to baste this over top of the lobster tails just before we're getting ready to put them on the smoker. So to prepare these for the grill, or today I'm going to use my smoker. You can do this on a grill, you can do it on a smoker, you can do it in your oven, whatever's best for you. But today I'm going to do them out on my smoker. And to prepare them for that, we need to get the meat out of the shell, but we want to keep the shell. And it's more for presentation than anything else. But we're going to use our kitchen scissors here, and we're going to cut down almost to the tail, but not all the way. It gets a little bit tricky down here. And then we want to separate the shell. It's a little bit difficult sometimes. I have not found a great, easy way to do this yet, but we're going to crack that shell open just a little bit. And then not all the way, we don't want it to be ruined. We want to be able to contain it here. There we go. And then the only way I know to do this, or have found to do it, is with my finger. So we're just going to slip our finger down in here and separate the meat from the shell on both sides. And then we're going to lift it up out of the shell. But leave it attached inside at the very base. So we're going to lift that up, sit it out on top, clean that out a little bit, and that will be our presentation and how we're going to cook this. So we just need to do these others, and then we'll be ready to go to the smoker. Okay, so we have these all out of the shell now. There's a piece of shell right there. Just be careful when you do that. Make sure that you don't chew on that. Anyway, these are ready for some basting. So we have our butter mixture that we did just a few minutes ago. I'm just going to stir it around a little bit. The butter is still melted. And so make sure we get all those spices in there. And then just exactly that. We're just going to pour it right over the top. And we're going to let that baste in while it cooks. I don't baste it again once it's on the smoker. I only put it on here at the beginning, and then when we're eating it, we use this for a dip. So the final step before we take this out to the smoker is to insert the temperature probe into one of these. I want to make sure that we pull this at the right temperature. It's real easy to overcook, and you don't really want it undercooked. 140 is what I have found to be the perfect temperature for these. So this one looks the easiest to do. So I'm just going to take that probe and I'm going to put it right in the middle, and we're going to go outside to the smoker. Okay, here we are out at the smoker. It's time to put these guys on here. I've got the smoker preheated to 400 degrees. And so we're going to stick these on here. And I think they're going to take about 15 minutes. So we're going to monitor the temperature on these from the probe. When it tells us that it's ready, we're going to come back out with an instant read thermometer and just double check to make sure that they're good to go. So we're going to close this up and let that do its thing. Okay, it's been right at 15 minutes and our grill probe is telling us that this is done, but I'm going to check it with my instant read thermometer just to be sure. We want 140, and that's struggling to get to 130. It's not quite done. Same thing here. They're all about 130 or pretty close to it, so we're going to close that. We're going to give it another 5 minutes. Okay, these have been on for about another 7 minutes. I don't want them to go too long without checking, so we'll take a look here and see what we got. So that one's 137. That one's 140. This one's about 135 or so, but I'm going to go ahead and pull them now. They are close enough to being done, and I don't want them overdone. That's worse than anything else. They'll continue to cook just a little more. We'll take that probe out. They'll continue to cook just a little more once we have them off the heat anyway. So here we are back with the finished product. These look fantastic. They smell delicious. I warmed up that butter that we made with the spices in it, and we're just going to go ahead and take a try of this. I'm really, really excited about this one. It's well done all the way through. Dip it in some of that butter. That's really fantastic. The lobster itself is done just right. That's the perfect temperature, about 140, 138, 142, somewhere in there. 140 is kind of the sweet spot. The meat is creamy. It's sweet. This butter has just the right amount of salt and spice in it. I really like that seasoning that we put in. And this is delicious. Everybody will enjoy this, and it's very fast and easy. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the like button for me on this. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do. I have many videos out there now, and I've got many more coming. I really hope that this is helpful to you. And check out my website. The link is below. Also my Facebook page, the link is below. You'll see everything that we have going on as we move forward. So thanks again for being here, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye.